Speaking of ready to go, there's one person apparently not yet ready to go.
Can we guess?
I mean, there's many people on the planet.
8 billion.
But there's one in particular I wish to express, apparently, as of right now, on the air, on the Tuesday before the new league year, believes he's not yet ready to go. That individual is named Aaron Rodgers. Listen. Listen. If I had my say, and thankfully, thanks to our friends at the Roku channel and our partners, and Westwood One and everyone else, I do have my say.
You do.
And now's the time to say it.
Got that mic, baby.
Aaron, it's time to go. It's time to go. And there are indications, however, that he does indeed have plans to, in fact, go. Why would I say that? Well, as soon as I went on the air on NFL Network yesterday at 4 Eastern time on the Monday before the new league year begins, and the tampering window, don't call it that, opened up, Garrett Wilson says, now I can enjoy my vacay. And as I said on NFL Network, well, for us Jets fans who are not in the know, that vacay feels like it's a White Lotus vacation. Okay? All sorts of crazy, freaky things are happening. Okay?
Yep.
Type of White Lotus vacation where you see F. Murray Abraham by the pool.
Tripping, falling over himself.
Okay? It's time to go, Aaron.
Finger foods are
Other
always
indications that it's time to go. And then he is, in fact, deciding to go. My colleague Mike Garafolo this very morning says that the Jets and Rodgers have been in communication with each other in the last 24 hours. Oh, good to know.
Hey.
And what are they talking about? What could be the holdup? The number of texts that I've gotten from my friends in New York City, in the New York metropolitan area, that are saying, what's the holdup? What's going on?
What the hell going on?
Is he being a diva? Is he a diva quarterback?
Well,
Is that what's going on?
we know that already.
You know what? He's doing what he needs to do to get ready to go. What is that? Oh, it's bringing his friends along with him. According to multiple reports, Alan Lazard, free agent. Jets are interested in him, and the guy who Rodgers strolled down the tunnel, leaving Lambeau Field for what appears to be the last time as a Green Bay Packer after the Detroit Lions eliminated them from playoff contention in the final regular season game of the 2022 season in calendar year 2023. The guy who he strolled off together with Randall Cobb. Jets interested in him all of a sudden. Isn't that interesting? Because when I went to the combine, I didn't think, you know what, the Jets need more receivers. They need more veteran leadership at the receiver position. Nuh-uh. So clearly, Rodgers has put down a marker in these conversations to Joe Douglas. These are the people I would like.
Yeah, I also read, Rich, that Greg Jennings has been working out, and Jordy Nelson.
Let me tell you something.
and James Jones.
At this point in time,
Bubba Franks.
I do not care if the New York Jets name Joe Rogan as their new quality control coach.
Pat's
Bring
coming
them
back
all.
to punt.
Bring them all.
AJ Hawk.
Bring them all. And I don't care, oh, God, that, you know, Rodgers is making the Jets contort themselves. And, oh, God, the Jets are really prostrating themselves for Rodgers. And, oh, God, Rodgers is going to be running the show. Yeah.
John Kuhn's coming.
Do you have, Hoskins, put up the Jets' offensive stats for the last 10 years that I still have here at my desk?
Eddie Lacy is playing running back.
This is why the Jets are going to let Rodgers run the show. And they're going to get in the boat with Rodgers or the plane with Rodgers. There are 5 lasts on the screen. Last 10 seasons, the Jets' offense last in points per game, last in total yards per game, last in yards per play, last in red zone touchdown percentage, last in passer rating. I don't care if they have the assistant trainer put ayahuasca in the Gatorade. Let's go. It's time, Aaron. It's time.
Donald Driver. James Starks.
I have had enough.
I can keep doing this.
I've had enough.
I understand.
It's time.
Ty Montgomery.
Because if he doesn't come now, if he does not come now, I do believe the owner of the Los Angeles Clippers, Mike Del Tufo, had something to say on where the Jets are headed if Rodgers does not come now.
Toilets!
That's right. Toilets. I mean, there's no kimono to lift anymore. It's off.
Jared Boykin.
Look, dude, stop Googling. Okay, stop Googling. Stop Googling because I'll tell you what, smart ass.
What?
I'll tell you what, because when Rodgers finally does arrive,
Like I said,
Rodgers finally does arrive, and I know the baggage, I know all the stuff that he might bring with him.
Andrew Corliss.
Here's what he's going to bring. Rodgers versus Mac Jones twice a year. You know what's not going to happen? The
What?
garbage that the Jets
Oh, really?
put on the field.
You really think so?
Oh, yeah.
You really think so?
Oh, yeah. The Jets.
You don't think the Jets stink
Garbage.
is suddenly going to wash over Aaron Rodgers? This is Brett Favre
Guess
2.0,
what?
bro.
Oh, no.
And guess what? Didn't work out well for you then. Not going to work out well for you now.
The reason why it didn't work out well for us is because Favre showed up already banged up. He already showed up, no longer the Iron Man. Rodgers is in much better shape than Brett Favre. And on top of it, all the Belichick voodoo that caused one guy to see ghosts and another guy to run into the ass of his offensive lineman and another guy throw 15 interceptions towards a McCourty and he somehow dropped only 13 of them. Won't happen.
Seen ghosts.
This is why it's time for Rodgers to arrive. There is no turning back. Bring in Lazard and Cobb. I hope Elijah Moore sticks around. He deserves it. He put in the time. I hope that this guy shows up fully engaged because he's coming. Jet fans, there's no trapdoor because what's Rodgers going to do? Retire? Packers clearly don't want him back. They are ready to go. They are ready to roll. They are, Mike, I don't know how you felt the day your divorce papers finally came in, but that's the way the Packers are going to feel the minute this trade goes through.
right.
Ready to
roll.
That's how I felt.
Fact. I don't know how you felt.
That's amazing.
It was unbelievable.
Okay,
Well
it was
done.
liberating.
the
It was liberating.
minute
It was amazing.
the ink dried on that thing,
I was out the door.
you super glued the Emmy she threw at you in a
Yeah,
fit
it
of
was-
pique back
I didn't
together,
care. Yep.
and you rolled.
I was out.
That's the way the Packers are going to feel. Everybody knows it. We know it. Take your time, Aaron. I get it. But let's go is the headline here. What else? Anything? Has he made a decision yet?
I guess
Okay.
I don't
Rich,
know.
last week you warned against people having Rodgers and Brady fatigue and basically told them to go kick rocks.
Yeah, you're not allowed to watch.
It seems to
the
me like
game.
you're suffering from some fatigue right
Well,
now.
no. The fatigue I'm suffering from, if you really want to know.
I would like to.
Thank you. The fatigue I'm suffering from right now, TJ, isn't Rodgers fatigue. It's having my ass handed to me 50 out of 53 years watching football fatigue. And I believe Woody Johnson's had enough too. And it is, a dangerous game that they're playing by turning to a guy who is at the end of his career and saying to him, we are handing all of our hopes and prayers and wishes and all of the best laid plans that our general manager, Joe Douglas, has well manicured to this point. We are taking this and handing it to you. And yes, fully admitting, without saying, that the team that did this before with the previous first ballot Hall of Fame, once in a lifetime quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, all due respect to the Bart Starr fans out there. But yes, the franchise that did that with Favre and was patently disappointed by the one-year experience on and off the field is in the same position again. We didn't advance very far. 2 years in the AFC Championship game, drafting Mark Sanchez, handing the Mangini Jets off to Rex Ryan. Nice times. Other than that, we're in the diaspora. Back again, hoping that the promised land can be led by a generationally, once-in-a-lifetime, again, Green Bay Packer quarterback who's now having a divorce with the Packers and is running to the Jets. That's my fatigue. And I sure hope Rodgers is the right guy to end it. And the one thing I am hanging my hat on is, Chris, how did Tom Brady do in New England, ages 39 and 40? How did he do?
Won a Super Bowl.
It can be done. Rodgers is not walking around like Ben Roethlisberger. He's not looking like, well, to respect, Drew Brees looked as he was pushing 40. That's my fatigue, sir. And I would love it to end. And I'd love for the Jets to stop doing this, because one thing I don't really want to do when I'm, knock on wood, 68 years old, is the Jets turn to Jordan Love as he's divorcing the Packers and hope he can do what Rodgers and Favre could not. That's my fatigue, sir. Thank you for asking. I feel better. Let's go is the headline.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I did 3 hours yesterday and 3 hours on NFL Network, and when I woke up, I thought to myself, absolutely the Rodgers news is going to break. Didn't happen. This morning, I'm hanging my hat on the fact that they're actually communicating. Thank you, Mike Garafolo. But the bottom line is, if they're interested in Lazard and they're interested in Cobb, there's a reason, because those weren't the needs the Jets had going into the non-playing season. They're the needs that they currently crave, because the quarterback they definitely need now, because Carr is a Saint and Jimmy G's a Raider, is clearly demanding it. And it sounds to me like, if anybody's ever sold a house, bought a house, you ever been fortunate enough to do that? You ever been in a situation where you're ready to close, ready to go to escrow, and the person who's buying your house, or the person that's allowing you to buy their house, is like, you know what? We're going to hold up this entire deal for the planters in the backyard. We want the planters in the backyard. Well, we want to take the planters with us. Well, then we're not buying your house. And you look at your spouse and you go, is this really happening? Not to call Randall Cobb a planter, but to me, it looks like Rodgers is holding everything up until he gets everything he wants, and I already hear it. You're setting the table for Rodgers running the show. Mr. Hoskins, put up the other Jets full screen we've had in the hopper for a week now.
Man, so aggressive. Just like, do you need a breath? Do you need a minute?
No.
Okay.
I have fatigue.
Sorry.
This is why. On the screen, Sam Darnold, currently now, God bless him, on his third NFL team.
He's going to win a playoff game next year.
For the 49ers. Our guest, now a $100 million quarterback for his third NFL team in Geno Smith, all the way down to the current soon-to-be backup quarterback, Zach Wilson, the current, I believe, offensive mastermind of the future Houston Texans in Josh McCown, Mike White, your new Miami Dolphin, who Jets fans are so scarred by this experience, they're freaking out we let Mike White go. And then, of course, a man who I believe is fourth on our color-coded system of pettiness, Bryce Petty, just slightly above Lori Petty on our petty scale. I'm telling you. Let's go. How's that for a show open today?
Set the tone.
Let's go, Aaron. Well, all the tea in New York City and all the tea in Brooklyn and Staten Island, we got tea. Okay? New Jersey, whatever you want, brother. Because now it's time. All my nervousness or worries about how it would play in New York, that's out the door. It's got to happen now. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.